Joining me here this morning is Alex Coffey, who's with TD Ameritrade, and we're talking about both macroeconomics and then some specific trades that he has in mind. So let's take a look at the big picture. How is the market looking?
Well, we're looking at the market continuing to kind of grind to new highs. There's a lot of optimism on the China trade war front, but we also have, kind of that pressure from the yields getting a little bit compressed, taking the central banks off of the table, at least for now. But it really comes down to, we talked about this a lot with Angie over the last couple of weeks, of how much different things are since last December, and you look at how many things have changed, and so much of that sell-off was based off, that negative headlines out there, and so much of that stuff seems to have moved to the side, but there still is a lot of uncertainties out there.
Yes, that's certainly true. It is a rather different world from just 3 or 4 months ago, that's for sure. So now you have a couple of specific companies in mind too. So let's hear your top three.
Yeah. So what we're seeing here on is the first one that stuck out to me as far as a large trade I saw come across. I actually saw 10,000 of the 41 call spreads being bought in American Airlines going out in May. And so this is obviously a bullish play, a little bit more strategic using the spread, but it's looking at a company that has, a lot of that negative headlines right now when you're looking at oil prices continue to rise, putting pressure on them, but also just the Boeing issue with the 737 MAX. But really, it's also a stock that's basically been cut in half since the beginning of 2018. So maybe a little bit of a play towards a little bit more of a reversion in that price.
Yeah, certainly American has been exposed with 30 or so of those 787 MAX 8. So it's a major part of their fleet. So that's been a big negative for them. Number two, Facebook. So Facebook's always one that's in the news. Obviously, it's so headline driven. We saw what happens when those stocks like Facebook or Twitter or even Google Alphabet, when they have those privacy and regulatory concerns, what kind of pressure they can have on these companies. Last year, you obviously saw it go from 220-ish down to about 120, losing a significant portion of its market cap. It's since made quite a bit of a recovery, and I'm seeing the 175 and 180 calls both being bought for this week. As they're making a little bit more strides in some of this regulatory stuff, but also they're finding out ways to monetize Instagram in different ways, which has really been seen as a positive by the marketplace. Yeah, certainly their advertising model is evolving, and obviously positively for them too. Mm-hmm. So, number three, another tech.
Another one is Nvidia. So Nvidia is another one of those stories that you really saw this company, it kind of fell from grace. It was kind of almost the poster child for the momentum trade, as you saw it go from, beginning of 2016, it was down in, 30 handle, and now it almost traded up all the way to 300 before basically being cut in half again. Since made quite a bit of recovery, but not as much as the rest of the semi space. And so that semi space is so cyclical, with some of those trade war concerns kind of easing, the market basically looking at the economic slowdown, some positive data, upbeat data out of Europe and China this week. Maybe it's not going to be as bad, and we're seeing the 190 calls being bought for this week in Nvidia.
And Nvidia is an interesting company because although they were really well known for graphics chips, now they're making a biggest play, in fact, one of the biggest plays in cryptocurrency processing.
And gaming, of course, yeah, absolutely.
So, well, Alex, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks.
Check out businessfirstam.com to find out where to see our entire show. And don't forget to like, follow, and share Business First AM.